Hello FlossTube, my name is Tamara and welcome to my channel Tamara Cross Stitch. In today's video it's going to be everything as usual, so I'm going to show you a finished project. I'm going to share with you what I'm working at the moment, and I will have even new projects. Yes, finally I will have new projects because I have been stitching since the beginning of the year. I have been stitching the projects which I have started in the end of the last year. And as probably you would have expected, I have a finished design, and this is Midnight Santa by Mill Hill. This one was stitched from this booklet magazine. It's not a magazine, it's a booklet, it's a book. In celebration of 40 years of Witchelt imports. And last time when I showed it to you, it was almost ready, you see. The thing is that I was like complaining about the frame, that it's coming like so lately, and I'm waiting and things like this. Finally it came, and you know, my funny reaction was I opened the envelope, I took it out, and my first reaction was, oh my god, this one is too big. I ordered the wrong size of the frame. And then because I knew that I didn't know 100% that Mill Hill doesn't have a bigger frame than this, but like I didn't see a bigger one, but I thought, what if I by mistake I ordered the bigger one? And my first impulse was to take the blue stitched perforated paper, you know, like this background. I put it here, kind of like, you know, on the back, and I look and I say, oh my god, this one is too big, I have too much space here. And then, okay, stop, calm down. You have the frame. I put the frame, and then I realized, okay, everything is okay, it's the right size. I looked on the site just as a curiosity, and no, they don't have a larger one. This is the largest. And I already put the pieces together, and I framed it, and I have a finished design. Finally. So last time when I showed it to you, I still had to attach some crystal beads here on the background, so I did it. And then when like the frame came, I measured everything like inside. And you know, if you remember on the blue perforated paper, the background, when I stitched it, I made a mistake and I didn't calculate the center correctly, and it was kind of in this part. And I was hoping that it's going to be enough space here to put it in the frame. And when I measured it, and you know, it was exactly how much I needed. I didn't have to cut absolutely a millimeter here, and I already cut this side. If it was shorter, I would have had problems. So I cut the blue perforated paper, and I started like making the sandwich, putting everything together. So as I said, I used YLI thread, and I attached the frame to the blue perforated paper, and I attached with the YLI, like from place to place. It's not seen, absolutely. So I attached the outer part, you see, like everything on the perimeter, and then the inside part, everything on the perimeter. This one is very nicely here attached. Believe me, it was the best decision ever, and it was quick. The thread wasn't like attaching something else. It was like without any extra emotions. Because sometimes when you are doing the final touches, you know, the thread is being naughty, and a lot of other little troubles which make you nervous. Then Santa, again, I made some stitches here in the middle so that it would be fixed, and then like on the perimeter I went like everywhere, absolutely everywhere, to attach it like nicely so that it would be attached. So I like very much the work which was done. It didn't take a long time. I thought that it's going to take longer, but it didn't. And the final touch, I attached the buttons. So the cardinal button and the star buttons. And I had already everything together. I put it in the frame. The easiest thing to do in Mill Hill frames is to just insert the perforated paper. This is how it looks. I have this kind of, you see, the board they are using is not even big enough to cover the everything. And I use this kind of pins to put it in place. And yes, the design is ready. I am happy. I'm not a fan of these Santas from Mill Hill because, you know, they have small ones. They come like in series. They come like in different collections. I know that they are popular, but I haven't had the great wish to stitch them. And when I saw this design, so this one is larger, nicer, it's a celebrational one, and I said, okay, I'm going to stitch this one because I like how this one looks like. I stitched it, I like it very much, but still it didn't give me the, how they say, the great wish to stitch the other Santas from Mill Hill, at least not yet. Yeah, because we, the cross stitchers, are very, how they say, changeable, or how they say, people. Yeah, so this is the design I already finished. And I wanted to show you how the progress with this design is going on, which is a good progress. Yes, finally, I can say that that moment when I started stitching in the how to say, in the rhythm I like, it came, and it came when I was stitching the sleigh. Okay, let me remind for those who maybe didn't watch the other video. So I'm stitching from this Mill Hill Santa's Holiday booklet. I'm stitching this design, which is Santa, a sleigh, some Christmas trees, some reindeers, a super beautiful design, difficult and slow to stitch, I would say, but very beautiful. And last time I was telling you that it was going incredibly slow, but last time when I was showing it to you, I finished stitching the sleigh with red anchor thread, variegated one, and you know, from that moment, so after the stitching or when stitching with this red thread, everything went quicker, nicer. I saw the light in the end of the tunnel, and everything was so quick because the beads here, they were added like really nice and quickly. And then I said, okay, if the beads are added, let me add the treasures because I want to see how this one looks like finished. I added the treasures and I was like thrilled. It's a very beautiful design. By the way, it's the first time when I'm using such a treasure. I know that this one is out of print but it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. The candy canes, you know that these candy canes, they are actually white, and when you are attaching them, you are attaching them with red thread and creating this effect of stripy candy canes. And the teddy is beautiful. And there is a big button here, the only button, Mill Hill button, which is used here. The big cornices, and from the beads you make bead loops, and you make it like the probably I'll film closer and you'll see it. And then what else? I added the snowflakes here on the Christmas tree. I have to add one more, the same size, which is going to be on top, but I cracked it and I ordered a new one and I'm waiting. I have one more, but that one is larger and is going to be on the tree, which is going to be here, the larger, the largest tree. And then when this one was finished, I kind of, okay, let me add the treasures on the reindeer. So here is the bell, which is on his neck, or his neck, yes, because I think this is Rudolph. And then I made a bow out of beads. Here I was kind of, I didn't know what to do because here on the preview, it's pretty difficult to see. And usually I'm seeing this one by, I made a photo on my phone and I'm enlarging the photo, and I'm looking there for details. And when I was looking there, I would say that this bow is made of threads. But according to the symbols which are in the description, and the description what to do when these symbols are, it should be a beaded loop. You see? And that's why I decided to make it from the beads, because I liked it better how it looks from beads. Yeah. And I added a star here on Santa's hat. I was sure that it's going to be one of those like bells, you know, Mill Hill bells. But no, apparently those ones are going to be at the neck of the other two reindeers. Yes. And kind of I already saw the, as I said, the light in the end of the tunnel, because I organized myself and I did all the things like beads and the cross stitches which come here on the bottom. Then I made the separate cross stitches which is snowflakes here. And by the way, according to the key, it should be just cross stitches with like thread cross stitches. But when I started doing them in cross stitches, they were looking okay. I didn't like very much how they were looking, and I decided that instead of cross stitches I'm going to do Smirnas, so they would look like nicer and I don't know, more like snowflakes, and I like it very much. Then also on the sky I added the stars, the petite little stars. I hate attaching those stars, as I said, to a fabric. They don't have any holes, and you have to be very careful to catch them and attach them. And I did it. There were 2 packs of stars, like 3 by 3, 6 stars, and I added them all finally, and the moon. So I did a great job on the sky, because what is left, so I didn't do till the end because I need the largest 3 so that I could like see. I didn't count the stitches, by the way. I did it by my eye, well, they say, because it would have been crazy to count the stitches. And yes, more than half of a design is ready. So I'm still waiting for this one to come, because it's ordered, and I'm going to attach it here, and it's going to be almost finished. And one more thing which kind of, I don't know what to do. There is such a thread which has to be added on Santa's beard and Santa's coat here. Something like this, and it will make it, I don't know how to say it, fluffy. On Santa's beard and Santa's coat, I'm not going to add it. It's a pity. I don't want to cover such a beauty with this thread. Yes, I use such kind of thread in Santa's head bell pull, but that one is large. And there the beard, which is made out of this one, looks nice. But here I will cover all my work, and believe me, it was a very great work here. There are two types of beads, and where in between them there are like French knots. And I like a lot how it looks without anything. So because these beads and these French knots, they already give this how do you say, impression of fluffiness. So no, thank you, but no. And then this one has to be used as a couching here on the bottom and here maybe it will be good, because there are like spaces here in between, you see, to put it. But again, I think that this one makes the design look cheaper. I don't know how to explain to you. That's why I said that on Santa for sure this one won't be. I'm going to finish stitching, because the next step I'm going to make is going to be the 2 reindeers, the largest Christmas tree and everything which is on it. I have to finish the snow which is like under, and a few snowflakes up. And when everything is going to be finished, I'm going to try to put here, like on the bottom, to attach as a couching this one, because it's not going to be such a difficult thing to do. If it's going to be okay, I'm leaving it. If I don't like, I'm just going to take it back. So, because I'm not going to add it all, I'm going to start on one side and see how it looks like. And yes, I hope that next time when I'm going to show you this design is going to be already a finished project. And after finishing Santa, Midnight Santa, the main design in work, progress in project in work, is the Mill Hill Santa with the sleigh. But as I said, that design is difficult for me to stitch just that one. Of course, I said that I'm going to stitch something parallelly, and of course, I decided that I'm not going to start anything new yet. But I'm going to stitch the last design, which was started in the end of the last year, and try to stitch this one to see how quick this one is being stitched. This is is kit from such a chair work. It's the brand, I would say, yes. And two vintage children. The design, it's taken, I think this one was taken from such a plate, or maybe it was a painting, I haven't noticed. Christmas Kiss, I think it's called. It was a wedge with the plate, such a plate. So this is the Victoria and Albert Museum, 1989 Christmas plate, yes, and Wedgwood. So I found out that there is a plate like this, and of course I couldn't miss the opportunity of buying this one as well. So as I said, last time, or the only thing which I made with this design, I found where to start from, and I started from the bottom, and I had this like shade which is underneath their feet, and the progress, I would say, it's more than good. This is what I have so far. Yes, a lot, you would say. Yes, a lot, because this one is being stitched super quickly, super nicely, and it's such a joy to stitch it. The threads which were in the kit, they were like, I had to find some bobbins, and I put them on the bobbins so that I could stitch easier. The colors are so juicy, so nice, and this is anchor thread, and the design is easy to stitch, not so many colors, but the colors are so vibrant and they are so different, it's not like when you're getting from one part to the other, the how they say, the colors are near, so there are 3 colors and they are super kind of different, how they say, the difference between them, but I think this makes this design so vintage, so nice, so adorable. So I started with the boy, so as I had this one, I started with his feet, like going up, 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 stitched the boy on this part of the this one is called swing, this like the part of the swing he's sitting on. I made the back stitch on the boy. It's not a lot of back stitch, but still there is some back stitch, and it makes so nice after you back stitch it makes it so nice. And I finished it, and I said, okay, let me do the part which is kind of the background, yes, which is here, and I made this one, and I finished, and I said, wow, this was a very quick thing. And then I said that as I already had this part, I will stitch the girl's face and make the back stitch to see how it looks, because the only concern for me in this design, it was their faces. I don't know if you can see. I didn't like very much the back stitch on her face, kind of, but let's not forget that the original is being stitched on the 11th count Aida, which is very large, and there are so many threads, because there are like full skeins of threads, because it is supposed that you should stitch in 3 threads. I changed, and by the way, I don't regret a bit my decision of changing. So I changed on the 28th count casual white. So first of all, I had the 32nd, and it wasn't like perfectly white. It was the 101th, which comes a little bit like with yellowness in it, a bit. This one is the 100th shade, which is Snow White. And I like it. I like it a lot, how this one looks like. And the count, yes, I was like, because in the beginning I was doubting about the count, that I'm taking a larger count. No, this one is okay. So I stitched the girl's face, and I made the back stitch on their faces exactly as it was in the chart, and I liked it. So I thought, I think that it looks kind of not so nice on the preview, because here it was stitched on this large how they say, Aida, and it doesn't look so so nice. At least I think so. What else? I stitched her face, and then I said, okay, let me try stitching like the other parts, like coat. And then I said, no, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go back to Santa with this sleigh. I'm going to stitch on that one as much as I can until I'm going to get tired, and then go back to this one, because if I'm going to stitch in the same speed, I'm going to finish this one pretty quickly, and again I'm going to be stuck with that Santa. Okay, some changes I have done here. The thing is that on his coat there are buttons, and it is supposed that these buttons are golden. At least I understand so from the preview, that his buttons are golden, and I thought, why not making his button golden? And I took some treasure braid from Rainbow Gallery, and I in the 2 threads, and I used it, and I stitched his buttons in gold, and I like it very much, the change I have done. It's super nice. And I had a dilemma here. So the chart is not very easy to understand, because I think it's an old chart. I think it's not like very well designed, at least I think so. So when you look in the chart, you don't understand absolutely everything. I try to fill in. There are some gaps here. So there is backstitch. Underneath backstitch, you cannot see what symbol it is, but for sure it should be a symbol. In this case, you know, I took a photo of the preview. I made the photo larger, and I looked there at that photo so that I could understand which color I should use. Thanks God, the colors are like very different, and you can realize which color is which. But here on his like collar, or how would it be called here, and on her like this one, and also her collar, her hat, it should be white. At least if you look here, it should be white. Color white in the threads, it wasn't present. Here in the chart there is such a, it says you should stitch in 1 string. Yes, 1 string. But which color to use, they don't say. And okay, I said that, okay, I try to take the lightest gray which I could find, and stitch in 1 stitch, like do cross stitches in 1 string, yeah. With that one, I started here, and I didn't like. I said, okay, it doesn't work. Then I remembered that in Midnight Santa I had such DMC 3865, which is whitish but not perfectly white, you see. And I said, as this design is vintage and the fabric is white, I said that this one is going to give a contrast, and I used this one in 2 threads, by the way, and I made the cross stitch everywhere where that sign was, and I did it. I had an idea of changing her hat and things here where fur is supposed to be, white fur. I had the idea of changing it in how it's called, the whisper, but then when I started stitching with the white, like the thread, I liked it, because there are other colors here, and I think I think it looks nice. So yeah, I didn't change anything. And as I said, this design is super sweet to stitch and nice, and I like it, and it's a joy. It's a joy to be stitched. So actually I don't have a lot of things to do. I have to finish her coat. I have to stitch, where is my preview? I have to stitch her feet, and then the background here which comes, and that's it, and the back stitch. But as I said, not a lot of back stitch on this design. A very nice and joyful design to stitch. And of course I'm intending to have new projects, because it's time. You know, I was stitching the Santa with the sleigh, and my main critic, my son, he like came next to me. He looked at it and said, wow, it's so beautiful, it's so nice. And he said, Mom, don't you think that it's too late to stitch Christmas, because it's already February and you are still stitching Christmas? Don't you want to stitch something connected with Saint Valentine's, because it's the next like holiday or which is going to be celebrated. I said, of course I want. I'm going to just finish this one and that's it. I'm going to finish with the Santa. And speaking about Saint Valentine's, because yes, I'm intending to stitch something connected to this one, even though I don't, I'm not very much into it, you know, like fanatically into it, but it's a pleasant holiday to celebrate with the loved ones. Okay, so what do I have? I prepared for myself 2 projects, and one of them it's the Shepherd's Bush heart treat bag. Yes, the next bag, because I said that I'm going to try this year to stitch all the bags from the series. I have left with this one and one more for Halloween, which is going to be stitched, of course, in autumn. And for this one, because I already opened the kit so that you could see what I have inside. So I have the chart, the heart treat bag thing. I have such a beautiful piece of linen, and by the way, this one is soft, you know, because usually many of the pieces of fabric, they are hard, like the Permin ones, but this one is soft. I like how this one feels. Threads, they are DMC threads here, no silk threads, and the 2 ribbons. The 2 ribbons are given because the white one you are using like a big ribbon, and the one which is not white, you attach on its edges, you attach the charms which are here, and the charms are mega beautiful. There is such a key with a heart, the key which opens the heart, and such a heart, large heart, and a bit of some beads. Yeah, this one's usually a quick stitch, that's why I hope that this one is going to be a quick stitch as well. And the second one it's a mill heel. It's the Valentine heart of the mill heel. I had this one in my in my wish list for a long time, but I wasn't buying this one, and finally in the beginning of the year I bought this one. It's the new variant which has the jabs, just another button this one, and such like nice perforated pink perforated paper. But for this one I have plans of changing it. And first of all, I want to stitch this one on fabric. I have, this is fabric which is this is even width, dyed by me. When I was stitching the just Nan's how it's called, the folder and I needed fabric for inside. I dyed my fabric, but still the count wasn't okay, and I said that this is initially was a 27th count, you see, and I said that when it's going to be 27th, so the one which comes next after the 28th count, yeah, 27th probably, but when after dyeing it, it turns into a 28th probably. So I want to stitch it on fabric because I want to finish it into pincushion. Yes, I want to finish it into pincushion. And one more trick I want to do actually is, you see, you are stitching this main heart, and then the background, you see this background, this one is stitched with pink threads, like 2 threads cross stitch. It's a lot of cross stitch actually, and on top of it you're back stitching some hearts and the Smyrnas. And I thought that I'm going to stitch the main heart with everything it has, and I'm not going to stitch the background in this pink because my color of fabric already will have this pink, you see, and I'm going to try to make only the Smyrnas and the backstitched hearts. I'll see how it's going to work, but I hope it's going to save me a lot of time and threads. And the just another button which is here, I'm intending to replace with a crystal heart, more or less the same size, more or less. I'll see how it's going to fit, but I would like to have a crystal heart here. So I hope the changes are going to be okay. Of course, I'm going to let you know in my videos how these projects are developing and going on, and that's why you have to watch my next videos. Until then, bye bye.